Yeah, everybody, one of Wiisdom here. You're probably thinking, "Hey, what's going on? What's the deal?" Yeah, got a lot of stuff over there. Got some stuff here. Got some pathways. It's looking like that is 100% correct because we're kind of offshooting from something we need to do, and this is all new. And it's gonna make perfect sense. This goes down into the cave system, and this is a giant ravine we don't want to fall into right now. So I built this, a suspension bridge that'll have in post when we have that readily available. But this all ties in with. There's probably should have gone on the pathway to get there, but we chose not to do that. So there's a split in this fence, isn't there? This'll work. Okay, didn't kill it. Giant farm, right? You kind of know where we're at. Coming up on Creeper Caverns over here. Got this little bridge that we don't use near as often as we should. Little, house on the path, all that stuff. And this will kind of make sense when we get where we're going. Again, there's Creeper Caverns. Our base is, of course, over there. Yada yada. But van down by the river, and of course this. So let's get some sunlight, and that would work better with a bed. Cool look at Creeper Caverns though, as the sun sets over the glorious hill that it is. And if we open this door, we come in here, okay, bed in hand and everything, and we got a giant ravine, right? And we got the original staircase. Whoa, well, that squid just took a I always see them down there and see them die. I rarely see one like cascade from this angle. That was cool. So you know what this does? It goes down to the spider spawner all the way that direction, right? But if you recall from the previous episode, we've got this thing now. And what this is, if we take it down, it's what we kind of need and want to finish because it's like our little railway cart. You don't know that yet because it's not here, but if you recall back, that's what all that is. There's like platform, and it just kind of staircases up to this point, and it'll of course kind of like come out somewhere in here. And if we were to take this over this direction, you get like a really cool, again, look at the ravine, there's like the railway platforms, all that stuff. And then we've got this, which is the staircase down, even though it looks like it goes to a black hole in the abyss. And if you pop out here, like this is on the side of the van down by the river, and if we cascade this way, and we sort of more work with the outlet that we have for our, rail station, and we would pop up here. So let's get that out of the way. Take that, take this. It comes up like right here. And this is, of course, like right in line with Creeper Caverns, almost perfectly in line with that pathway. And this little thing here, aside from being, there's a hole somewhere, I don't want to fall in there. That would be bad. So we got the van down by the river, okay? And you got sort of this natural hill here. And we got the pathway that was, gonna like trek off over to the farm and everything. And then there's just this. And of course, this is where the doorway is that we've had for forever that goes again right down that staircase. So my plan is, since this was here in natural, we're just gonna like extend it over here a bit more, and that will allow us to put like some door or facade like that, and that will sort of be our entry point, and we can extend this pathway. You'll note the path obviously goes all the way up to Creeper Caverns, and then this one goes back over to the farm and through the mountain and to the base and all that stuff. So this will all like sort of connect, and that will be a point where we can either like come from the main base to there and exit, or we can be here and go there. You get the idea, right? It's all connected. And then if you're thinking like, well, where the heck were you a second ago then? Well, let me try and think why we were there and kind of showcase it. I guess we should probably use the path, right? Seems like the smart thing to do. But when was the last time you were on top of the van down by the river? It's been a while, hasn't it? So you got to take advantage of that. So I had a feeling that was going to happen. It's lagging a bit. I've got a video rendering in the background. That's why we wound up on a torch instead of the bed a second ago. But there's our path. It's there. This is the back side of the farm. You also know it's here. And this was a deal where I needed wood, right? I needed all this oak, which, there it is. I was like, I don't think I've processed it yet. And all of this stuff, right, was, you know, like caves, expansions, it all connects. It's like the same ravine and everything. And so that's where this comes in, you know. And we've got this here, and of course this, which you may not realize it, but all the way through there, I'm gonna try to run. It's not wanting to function that way. But like when we come this way, see, like there's the path right here. And it kind of cascades that way, right? And then it goes up that direction. So what we're doing here is just sort of connecting this stuff. And the reason that I'm filming is because I was about to do a lot of work, and I wouldn't have had any record of it if we didn't have the start points. So again, all that's new. I've got this. This is like a main pathway here. There's several that go that direction, this being one of them. You can kind of see like up that hillside. And again, that stuff goes way, way the other direction, just like that one. And this sort of goes from the farm. You can see the watermelon there. And this direction, and you're like, oh, well, you know, it like comes down, and then it's sort of here. You'd have to like boat in or something, right? Currently, yes. But what if I told you that's about to change? Somewhere on this staircase, I'm thinking here, I framed this in, I'm going to build like another wooden bridge. It might come up a level or two, actually. And I just want to cut into this hillside, sort of towards the Wall of Wiisdom, okay? And this, if you recall, is like a giant like cavern of craziness. And I think we should have a cutout in the Wall of Wiisdom somewhere that we can utilize. And that, of course, gives us the option then to connect like underground, like under the rivers, if you will, back to everything, including our base over there, which is a train wreck because Endermen constantly make it look like it's flooded. So that's sort of the goal. So I'll take you back in Van down by the river. Big, secure, ultra secure Wall of Wiisdom. And oh, there's a button here. Okay. So we're inside the Wall of Wiisdom. Surprised there's not a creeper. And if we come up here, man, I haven't been back here in a long time. We're always going to make like a Twitch subscriber room thing, right? And we never sort of like actually did that. But this is staircases down. It's all fancy. And I want all that to actually connect to what we're going to do. Yeah, I saw a giant hole and we're lagging. But we'll have a good vantage point of that. And that's kind of what I want. So trying to remember like if I was ever gonna like just extend this perimeter or what exactly, but here we are, you know, up on the ultra defensive Wall of Wiisdom, and this is the staircase down that is of course the closest to where we would come out over there. So we might have like a little path here that'll sort of connect in. All kinds of stuff will happen here, but I just, you know, I hate doing stuff and not having like a start point, because then it doesn't seem as impressive, and it's got to seem impressive. So basically I'll be cutting down a lot of trees and going from over there to over here and somewhere else. So that's what I'm going to get to, and I hope that I will catch you back for a look at the progress. Alright, so welcome back, and I just had to go look at what I'd recorded previously because I've done a ton of stuff that was not recorded, And my last thing was putting vines somewhere in this vicinity, and this is so far away from everything that we've done. I think this is going to be just a clip that sort of explains and showcases sort of what I've done, and then we get back to something else. So I'm over here only because I've had to like mend the axe, the shovel. This pick was mended and then had to be mended again. You get the idea, right? There's been a lot of stuff going on. I don't know what time it is. It's raining, of course. Let's see. Well, this raises an interesting thing we could do. Right, this chest there has saddles in it now. I'm slowly starting to move those. This is a whole thing that I don't even know if we want to get into just yet. If we come down here, though, I guess we could go this way. So eventually we're going to just need to go in that ravine and conquer it. But I will tell you right now that if we start going this way, I've made a ton of connections, which again seems to have so little to do with what we were doing that it's kind of insane, really. That said, what's the best way to get where we want to be? Guess this is? No? We're trying to think. If it wasn't raining outside, I never know what I'm going to get into, so we'll just, as much as I hate to, we'll go this way. And I'll eventually kind of finish this out too, but right now it's just not the time for that. But this will kind of give you a feel for one of the many ways. I also meant while I was this far over to go get more steak, so that's kind of a buzzkill. But the amount of work that we did is kind of insane, and I don't know that it's going to be able to be processed very well. Should probably just go ahead and put the rails down here, to be honest with you. Would be the smartest thing we could do. Nothing, if you're expecting anything in this area to be done, oh, you've thought too linearly, my friends. So, did I ever chisel this out to a destination? I don't think I did. So we're kind of walking blindly here to where I don't even know. This all just sort of got screwed up by the craziness that it is. So we'll just, again, you kind of see where we're at, right? You kind of know where we've been, and you're going to see where we're going. So this little jaunt over here should take us, if I'm thinking correctly, not to where I want to be, because it's up here. Luckily, there's staircases that we've installed from previous installments, and must have run out of torches or something there. So this is not new. This is something that I keep thinking that I'll finish that we just never really do. So that one's on me. It is coming. I just kind of might redo it. And I haven't wanted to commit to that because I went out to get wood to finish this out in the style that we want, because we'll need tons of planks and blocks and stuff. And yeah, just bear with me, because it'll pay dividends eventually. So looks like the storm is gone, and it also looks like this is wide open, so I should probably, I used all of the dirt there. So if you recall, I think the first clip I just watched, it'll be the start of this, I said we're just going to extend this hill over, and you're like, that looks exactly like it was, and you would be 100% correct, because I just have not had any time here. Now, nothing's happened that way, nothing's happened this way, aside from tons of stuff underground that we have no relation to here at this episode point. So if I take you this way, this is where things start to change. Okay? Nothing here per se, but it's going to start changing. Right here, in fact. So you'll note that this is all new here, I believe. We've got it spaced out in case I want to add fencing, which I have not put. And it's just a little pathway. I think this is new. I'm pretty sure I didn't have that set up just yet, the gateway on both sides. I've also added these buttons here along the way as I would walk, like the watermelons and pumpkins that grew scattered bothered me that much. So we've corrected that mishap by nature. This has seen quite a few more plants grow in. Also, this back fence probably stopped there or somewhere broken in here. It now runs all the way over here. Okay. This has changed a little bit. This has obviously changed a lot going that way. There's some chests here, there's paths there. This is all brand new. This fence line here and that fence line there is all new. This sugarcane farm, brand new, framed out, sort of crazy shaped, right? It's actually very easy to farm. I'm quite happy with it because I was in this area so much and that was there, and I thought, you know, I could get some more sugarcane. So we did. Now, I guess this is probably the most practical place to start. So if you take this linear path here and you pop up, clearly I didn't finish there, but this is sort of like a forest path, okay? There's a couple scales of paths here. This has fence posts with torches. That's what a forest path is in this wonderful world of Wiisdom. Okay, ignore that because those are just there. This isn't done. I'm just kind of showcasing to you some of the meandering craziness that's taking place here. Basically, I just wanted to have stuff that was already connected connect better, and where it was easy to trail and figure out what was going on and where it was going where and all that stuff. This opens up a whole nother can of worms. I did spend a lot of time back there. I don't think we're even going to mess with that just yet. So this runs over this direction, right? And we kind of get to some more paths. This still doesn't like officially connect, okay? This stuff was all here. This was all here. I was never really sure where it was going to connect or go to. You get the idea, right? So the official pathway, though, is kind of this thing. And again, we didn't do this. We did what we would dub the forest path, okay? So I guess we'll, since we're here, and I tried to kind of maintain this theme here, I threw down some couple of fence posts and stuff along the way. And we're kind of getting farther away from the action, but I guess it'll sort of work. Maybe. We'll just, this isn't really the connection point I should have used. It would be in this one. But like I said, this stuff was here. We didn't do it. You know, it's all just kind of still as it was. But that goes to the village, okay? And then this, again, we have not done anything here. I'm just trying to get back a path or two, and I'm seriously second guessing whether I should be going this route or not. So I'm assuming no, because I don't travel this way enough to know exactly where I'm at. I mean, I know where I am. I'm not 100% sure we're going to come clean where I want to. But I can get there. I know I can totally get there. I think we're going to redo this. It doesn't really tie in that well. That's where I was trying to come out. I'm not sure quite how we missed that. But if we, I think we need to be down here. Don't know what I was thinking there. Again, bear with me. I haven't really been that way in a while. Now, this is getting me where I needed to be to show you something new. It's not this bridge. This has been here. All that's been there. But this stuff is going to change, and in fact, we're just going to look this way, okay? Focus on the change. So, first thing first, I told you I didn't quite know where that bridge was going to go over there. Right on the other side of that landscape is that boat, okay? So this all in theory could connect. Again, that's all been like that. This right here is new, okay? All of it. There was always a hole here. I think we had like a torch up to maybe this wall, and that was it. This actually pops out over here, which is kind of good to know and kind of have lit up finally. It's nothing like super useful just yet, and then of course it does trail that way. And I think does it pop out again, or was it a dead end? Dead end. Fine. No big deal. We'll deal with it at some later point in time. So, coming back over, I'm pretty confident there's a zombie spawner down here. The number of zombies that come that are unaccounted for and just continuously spew and everything. I think it's like up there because they seem to fall from that place. But case in point, like if I start wasting this guy, he's going to summon his pals and maybe, oh, he's equipped. I actually would use that shovel if you drop it. Okay, no worries. Maybe it is back there then. But I mean, like, there's never a creeper, there's never a witch, there's never anything. There's a few bats, yes, but it's mainly zombies. and now we'll kind of assume that it's farther back. But anyway, that's a great source of evil that we'll save for a rainy day or sometime. It's not really that relevant to me at this moment. To give you an idea how confident I was that it's on that level I thought it was, I started digging that way and then stair-stepping, and I kept hearing them, and I just never did get to them. So anyway, that's what that is. So it's sort of like roped off a little. If I come in here, I've now secured that. I did this sort of stand-up deal. This drops down into that area that I told you was convenient for us, so that's where that is. This is going to be a little sad up here, and I have a clip. I guess I'll just use it. And if you're thinking like, what's that idiot doing? He doesn't know how to place fences. Well, you'll see why in a second. So this I currently have open. I'm not sure what I'll do there, but it seems like a good place to put something. There's a couple of spots you'll see like that. Now, this actually is not the official pathway. This is like the mid-tier path. You've been on the Peasant Road over there. The forest trail, and then we've got this one, which is sort of fortified, sort of neat. This would take us right down all the way to that forest trail, and if you stop somewhere in that area and go back, you've got the big farm. This was at the start of the clip, I believe. We have this area here, or if I take it up, we now have all this connected, right? It's pretty swanky. And down there, well, I'll just show you since we're here. This should look familiar because it's where we started. It's going to be the suspension bridge, believe it or not, across the ravine. It's just all fenced in now. So right there, that goes down into the cave. It's spruced up a little. We've got this added out a little bit more, and then we're here. So where this comes in is kind of like just right here behind the farm area. It's sort of like a mid-tier, just connecting point, if you will. So farm is up there, right? That's our new sugar cane over there. This is the trail that goes to the forest path. So when we backtrack up this way, you kind of know where we're at now, right? Trying to think what the best course of action is. If we now sidestep that and come this way, we start to get a little bit wider of a path, at least that way. This one's different. It's special. We're going to come up here, and there's a zombie villager that I've thrown an item to. He should be in there. I hear him on occasion, but that's unexplored. It's just fenced off, so nothing comes out and blasts my pathway. If we come over here, you can see where I've kind of fenced that off, because again, tons of spawns and stuff we sort of keep. I know there's places stuff could cross over, but I'm more about the aesthetic. Now, this is 5 wide, not 3 wide, not random wide like the forest path, and that's because this is like the Regal Roadway, okay? The Regal Roadway does connect to the city, but there's the Wall of Wiisdom Tower, right? And then all this way is going to be like the official Regal Roadway. It's sort of like a step up. It gets cobblestone steps. Now, the issue is it's 5 wide, okay? You got 1, 2, 3 is your midpoint, 4 and 5, and then your columns on either side, which would be block 6. So, 5 wide, right? 5 wide. And if you look at this and you're like, hey, that's 4 wide. This would be 5 wide. What's going on here? Well, this whole thing is off one. I don't know how it happened. Like, this side's fine. It's perfect. This side, though, is totally off. And it bothers me a lot. And we're going to just chip that whole thing out, redo it, probably have to add some dirt down. I don't remember what we've done down there. I'm not gonna go into it though. So can't really get this to run. Low on stake, like I said. But if I take this up, a lot of things have changed here too. So if we come this way, a lot of this is new and sort of just completed and rounded off, right? It's nothing super fancy this way. But like this will take us down. There's a little cave right there that I framed out. This is sort of just where it terminates, right? Right over there, I think I started adding some fence, ran out, just never got back to it because we're so far from where we were supposed to be. But this was the Regal Roadway on its descent over here. Now, obviously, if we come up top, we certainly don't have to split off that way where it gets smaller. We could stay on this track, and that track, of course, is going to, it could come this way, but obviously, literally, it's going to take you over there, and it'll run you up towards the Cathedral of the Skull, right? So, now that you kind of know where we're at, we're not going to go down there. We're going to go this direction, And if I cascade through here, we will... Did I miss my turn? I don't think I did. Maybe I did miss the turn. Oh. Where was it? I think it was down here, actually. My apologies. I've never actually explored this. I just built it, and things are kind of still fresh and new to me. So yeah, right, this is what I was looking for. So if you're thinking like, oh, what's this? Well, this is sort of like a connecting point. It's going to go from the Regal Road all the way down through here. I'm real happy with how this looks. I have all those stupid trees lit up. I'll probably put a fence up eventually, but I was kind of debating how I wanted it to look. And we're right back where we were. So this takes us back over into the village trail. There's our little boat. That's the new cave with the perceived zombie spawner. And we're back to this one. Okay. So we're just going to jaunt up this way. I'm tired of not being able to run. So bear with me here. I'll do that 4 to 5 wide conversion off camera, if you will. But I'm really happy with this because it's finally like finalized. If somebody just logged into my world and was like, what's going on? They like, this gets you going where I want you to go if you follow my drift, right? So I think 5 wide Regal, 3 wide for city, and forest is just sort of random. Okay, now this is kind of where we started the entire episode. And I haven't been messing with this since I basically recorded that clip and did a ton of stuff and then got in on this mess. So, right here, this is going to go over into the hillside, okay? And if we drop down, you'll see all this. I wanted it to be sort of more, foresty, so it's got like the wood and the tree branches and everything like that for supports. And then if you note that I've carried this over, and you're thinking like, okay, why? Well, for a good reason. You'll see where this is going to go, and hopefully it's impressive. And this grass was not here. I've done all that naturally myself. So this puts you out on this side of the Wall of Wiisdom. But that's not all. Let's see. I don't know that I'll be able to pull this off because I've built it and not really been anywhere, but this is a clue, I think. And then that is a clue. If I come down here, and I've got all this grass, and then it goes this way. This is kind of just a small little cave. I didn't do any of this. This was just natural. Obviously, that I've done. That goes to a ravine that's unexplored somehow. And then right here, though, this is something obviously we chiseled out. And if I take this up, we are under a river because look at that. We line up right here. So basically, off camera, we're going to I think I'll just go ahead and do the oak fence there. It'll be fine right on the water's edge. It's cool. I'm going to obviously on the Regal Road make it the true 5 wide that it was supposed to be and somehow wasn't. There's so much stuff that I've done under the base that I don't really think even pertains to this. I don't want to get into it. But I do want to highlight a couple of things. There's a lot of holes. A ton of holes. And while that's precarious because you could fall and take fall damage, you could potentially die, there's just so many of them. It's kind of like character. And this all in the cave underneath this hill here that's right beside the Wall of Wiisdom that has all those bridges connect to it now. And that pathway under the river. I was initially thinking I would just cover them in with dirt, right? Kind of make it look natural. And then part of me got to thinking and I was like, what if I just like put glass there and sort of made it like cool, And I think that's what we're gonna do. I think we're actually gonna kind of put glass over some of that stuff and just sort of make it skylights for this little cavernous trail, if you will. So this is really kind of a cool place, the way it all sort of intermingles and connects. I mean, you can take some of these trails and they just randomly pop up in a field over there by the wall. Some of it goes down farther and I think goes into ravines, but I mean just all these little forks go places, and yet they're all connected. So it's, like I said, it's really kind of cool. But I think this one pops out sort of in front of the wall, if I'm thinking. Well, that looked like a skeleton from the angle I was, but you kind of get what I'm saying, right? And so I just sort of like that aesthetic and that vibe, so we might do that. But we're gonna work towards sort of just doing some of that crud. Obviously, that'll be done off camera and all that stuff. But I mean, the amount of time I sunk into those pathways was absurd. I know it doesn't seem like it. You know, you like run through there and like 10 minutes or something, not knowing your directions even, and it just doesn't seem that impressive. But I assure you, it takes a lot of time. I'm not one of these people that makes a living doing this, like I have to work a real job and all kinds of things. So it was a lot of time, and it's not the most exciting stuff, but I mean, you got to understand, in the broader scope, it's going to be pretty neat, I think. So this was kicking back because I am still not done, but I decided, like, you know what, there's a lot of flat area here if we take these trees out, which I was having to do. And I think I'm going to like expand the farm out this way, probably level it up some. And then I hadn't showed you this, but I do have the terrace over here. And I'd started sort of like another pathway connection point. But I was also, if you can follow me, like this would be roped off because that's a perilous death drop, right? That's the ravine with the suspension bridge. So we'd rope this off. This would basically be a fence line. This is a small little pathway, and then I was just going to have like terrace stuff for like wheat and carrots and potatoes, maybe beetroot, the small crop type of a thing. So kind of just fill in this area. This is obviously lava. It's good for natural lighting and a hazard that I always have to be leery of so I don't fall into it. But we just have a lot of space to fill up here, if you will. There's like random pools and stuff. So yeah, this is what I've done, and it took a lot of time. And it's still not done, but it's closer. That was like the original wide thing that we've kind of chipped away here, so there's a lot to do, I'm not gonna lie, and I've got no inventory space to do it, so I'm gonna continue kind of like filling this out. Eventually we'll like put gates and stuff, but you get the drift of what I was going for and kind of what we were doing. So I'm going to continue to make strides with this project, and then we'll get back into some other things. But right now it's just kind of, for some reason I've had it in my mind, like if my nephew logged in here, like he would have no clue. Like you could figure it out, but it would take forever. And so I kind of wanted to make things like official-ish, right? I guess I could possibly... I don't know if I can do it or not. I honestly don't know. But there is a waterfall over here. And it's kind of a waste of time. But you see where there's like a lighter spot? Right? Maybe. If I do this, it'll pop out over here. And this is terrible because it doesn't show you anything that I wanted it to. Did I not make a hole? Clearly I did not. Okay, well... this is something that'll eventually do something for us, right? And I have no desire to go down there and die. If I crest this hill, maybe we'll see it, because I did spend a good chunk of chime. You're not going to be able to tell, I don't think. But took out a lot of trees, and there's basically another ravine over here. So I think these torches sort of like meander that way, maybe. Also, there was like several late nights where I didn't have a bed on me, so that might have something to do with it. But that trail over that direction, beautiful, is sort of what we were more interested in. So if you follow these torches, these are what will connect with the forest path. I took out so many trees here, it's ridiculous. And if you're thinking, hey, what's the deal? Well, this is it. This is the other ravine. So crazy stuff, I know. But it is what it is, and that's what it was. So on that note, obviously, where does it go past that? I have no clue. I've been over there at some point because there's like a couple of things and trails I could find, but yeah, for all intents and purposes, that's what it does right now. So I'm gonna end this. I apologize, not like the most exciting stuff, but this is all like vital, right, to like the world, if you will. So I'm gonna run with that theme. That's kind of something I'm trying to accomplish here, and that's what we're slowly working towards. So all this will kind of get punched out. We'll have that waterfall connect and all kinds of crazy stuff. If I could ever like stay in one area, it would sort of just be a better episode. But it is what it is. So do I have? Okay, we can do this because I fixed the Tree Rex 2.0. I'm gonna drop down naturally here, and okay, maybe this was what I was thinking. I think that'll eventually go through too. Something, I had dug through some wall and I totally had to like line up with something. I was real proud of it, but I don't know where it was. It was somewhere. Who knows, really. But if I just run you over here and you start seeing that torch, and you're like, oh hey, it's a cheap little peasant road there. That's 100% correct. So, with that said, we have talked long enough. I'll promise you that I'll continue work on this trailway thing, and it'll be cool. It just takes a lot of time. So, on that note, I think since I'm here, I'm just gonna go straight behind me and make that connect. Why? Just to get to another ravine, and then we'll kind of fill in some gaps here, fix the Regal Road, build out some skylights in our little hobbit tunnel. I'll go get some more steak because I'm running out. And you know what? There's one more thing. I've logged in and out several times now, so I don't know if it's gonna still be a thing or not. But it's right over here. And this will give me a chance to offload some of this crud too. So you'll know it. You'll be like, dude, why don't you have a double chest there? Oh, I wonder the same thing. So let's just ditch all that crud. And these buttons, don't know why they're still here with me. They were used in the base. So I've got a chest here, right? And this is just... Oh, of course. I can't tell you, I should have recorded it. All the number of times that I put that chest there and it would disappear. And then if I, like, hit it, it would break and it would go back. And so I just put it there, but now it goes. So, I don't know. It was like a ghost block thing. Also in that other clip when I made that little tunnel way up by that tower, there's like 6 invisible blocks I get stuck on all the time. I dumped water, I placed blocks. I couldn't get them to go away either. So if you're like, why is there that weird stutter? Well, that's why. So anywho, I'm gonna get to work here. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Again, this is all like not exciting stuff, but very important stuff for the world. So with that said, thanks for watching. I'll catch you back here for more Wiisdom